on now. This is Arthur Seay and Matt Bischoff, and we are Riff Killers Podcast.
Welcome to Riff Killers Podcast and Party. We have on today's show Paris Visone, photographer, all-around badass, worked for Godsmack, worked for Blondie, all kinds of bands.
Limp Bizkit. She's the tour videographer, photographer. She's awesome. She's badass. She has a new thing she's doing due to the pandemic called Hello TV, where all of her production buddies got together and, you know, created a rad full-scale production, multi-camera shoot, lighting, done right. If you're gonna do fucking some streaming, do it right, people. Called Hello TV, man. Yeah, she'll have plenty of information for you guys that are into that stuff, and she's just an awesome people, man. She's awesome. I love her to death. She's part of the Ape Shit crew. She's part of the Shrewdness. So let's see what Paris Visone has to say. Paris on the camera. Come on now.
What is going on? I am here with Arthur Seay.
Come on now.
And we have an amazing guest tonight, Paris Visone, who is I would say a documentary photographer. You shoot photos for all types of musicians. You've been featured in Rolling Stone, Spin, Alternative Press. You have a book out. You're kind of like Arthur and I believe you're somewhat of a workaholic, constantly creating. I know you do video stuff. You have a new live streaming Hello TV deal that you're doing, and we're excited to have you on the show. How's it going?
You're excited,
in Boston.
Paris. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Otherwise known as Parish on the camera.
Yeah, Parish on the camera.
There might be a lot of inside jokes that nobody's going to know because
That's fine.
Me and Paris have toured the world extensively together in multiple,
So Arthur, you obviously, we've talked before. When
she has
you
merch
said,
for anybody out there.
Yeah, you thought it was Paris Vision, correct? Is that what
you know what? Here, we'll go into stories. I'm going to tell lots of stories. I'll try to keep them short. I met Paris on Godsmack, and that first tour that I did was like the random, like the text the day before. What are you doing? Nothing. You want a gig? Sure. When do I leave? Tomorrow at 6 a.m. And then I'm back east. And then Paris was working, but I didn't even talk to her.
No.
I'm like, who's this chick?
I wasn't even into you at all.
No, I was like, who's this chick
I was
following
like, this
around?
guy has a big beard. That's his thing. Sure.
I'm like, who's this
They're a
chick
dime a dozen on tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Chicks falling around tour managers too. Who's this chick falling around the tour manager every day, all day? That's all she does. What the fuck is that? I'm like, I didn't even care. That tour, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm fuck, all these people are weird. What the fuck? Boston people. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Oh my God, this is insane. What? Keep to myself. Cool. Amy was cool as shit. But then later on, all-time fucking one of my best friends, live her to death, forever.
So you go on this, like you were going on the Godsmack tour as a guitar tech, correct?
Who, me? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you.
The first, I started out bass. They fired somebody. They fired a lot of people. I got a call. I worked with Guy Sykes, who, if anybody knows, he was Pantera's everything since day one. He's like tour manager extraordinaire, dude. So I worked with him with Limp Bizkit, and then he did Godsmack too, and it was that random, like, text at like noon or something. What are you doing? Nothing. Got a gig. What is it? Godsmack. I'm like, all right. When is it? Tomorrow. You gotta leave at 6 a.m. or some crazy shit like that. I'm like, cool. All right. I live my life where like, yeah, man, I can go 6 a.m. Sure, man. Pack some shit. I'm out of here.
So that first tour,
yes,
when you met
Paris was she was well, yeah.
So what was your first opinion of Arthur? Besides the fact that this is just some hipster beard guy that wishes he worked at the Apple store.
Yeah, honestly, I just didn't care. I didn't care. New guy, sure, great. Just
man.
Don't leave shit around the bus. I don't know what to tell you.
were we even on the same bus?
I think so.
So you're Godsmack's official photographer for like an entire tour. So kind of break this down. Obviously, I know I read something about you that you got into photography around age 11 when you wanted to kind of be someone like that would photograph the band Hanson. Am I correct on this?
That is true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were like watching Entertainment Tonight and you're like, I want to do that. Fast forward, you're an adult and you're on tour with some of the biggest names in rock and roll. So
adult? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
How about this? How did you even get into? Because I'm sure a lot of your fans and followers want to. I'm sure you've told 1,000 times, but how did you even get into? Like, what was your first gig that you got a gig working for a band?
Well, I photographed bands like in high school, as you would, and then. The first real tour that I got on was actually Blondie. So I kind of went from 0 to 100.
I did that too. That was how I started teching. My first teching gig was Slipknot. Like, bam, there you go.
Exactly. I was just doing like VIP like stuff.
For Blondie.
And then I transitioned that. No, to Blondie, like for Blondie, like.
Okay, how did you get the Blondie gig? Like you were friends with somebody, and they're like, "Man, Paris, you're cool. We'll give you a shot."
Yeah,
it's all that. Everybody out there, it's all who you know.
I went to a Papa Roach show when I was 16, and my stepmom's friend started talking to one of the dudes on the tour bus. She ended up marrying that dude. He started a VIP company and hired me to go on a tour.
Wow. Yeah.
So, it's like years and years in the making. I also went to college and, like I took it seriously. It wasn't just like, I met a guy when I was 16 and there you go.
Yeah.
But,
like
it's always a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? And everyone thinks it's like, oh, this happened and boom, you're on tour. I'm like, no, dude, you got to put in the time.
10 years,
20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can just pick up like a digital SLR camera and bam, you're going to, hey, I deserve to go on tour with
everybody
XYZ.
Thinks that these days.
Everyone thinks it. It happens sometimes, I guess, but
you actually found a passion for photography at a young age, and then I'm assuming you went to school, correct? And then got a degree in photography?
I did. Did I need it? Debatable.
Yeah, so I want to ask that. I'm friends.
Are you still in... Sorry, Matt.
No, that's right.
Are you still in debt from school?
Yes, but not as much.
Cool.
I'm not overwhelmed by it anymore.
Some of these things these days where, the society is turned like, you got to go to college, and then you're 100,000
It's even more
in debt.
expensive now. It's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
I would never go now.
There's like trades that you can learn and where you can make just as much, if not more, and you're not 200,000 in debt, or, photography you can learn and.
Right.
Yeah, but I want to ask.
I'm all for school. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but the thing is with photography, I've talked to a lot of photographers. I come from a BMX bike background where a lot of my friends that worked for the magazines at the time, which no longer exist, everything's online, but they worked for like all the BMX magazine publications and toured the world documenting BMX. And some of them went to school, but some of them just started out, just shooting photos, learning how it works. This is before digital cameras. And a lot of those guys were like, man, nowadays, like you said, Paris, you don't even really, if you can learn online watching YouTube and experiment, you don't necessarily have to get a piece of paper degree to get your photography career started. But that is something at the time what year was it that you were going to college for photography? Did you go in Boston?
I did. I went in Boston, and I graduated 2004. So 2004, I went to school for 4 years.
And then how soon after your graduation did you actually start hooking up with like the Blondie gig?
I taught for I think a year or two.
You taught at the college that you actually went to.
Yeah.
How
Wow.
was that?
It was cool. It was actually
Yeah.
high school students taking college classes. So it wasn't like I was just 1 year out teaching people right below me. But
Yeah.
it was college credit, so it was legit. But it was cool. Like I wasn't that much older than them, which
Right.
was like crazy. So the first day I just sat there like I was a student. I was like, man, where's the teacher? And they were like, yeah, where's this teacher?
You're like, all right, shut up. Put your
Well, yeah,
cameras
because
down.
I had like, nose ring, bleach hair.
Yeah.
It's just like it's funny. It's art school though. It's like no one needs art school, honestly. But
So
whatever.
let me ask, as a young teacher, you're an attractive chick, you're this hip photographer chick.
Flirting. Anyway,
Were you hit on by students in your classroom?
no, I was
Never.
not.
Were you
No.
intimidating?
I actually when I was a teacher, I could not understand. I was like, how do teachers find students attractive because they're so immature? And I just did not understand it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard
It's a
for me to
crazy
understand.
thing.
Right, it is. But so you went to school, you
thing.
became a teacher, and shortly after you stumbled into the Blondie gig. At that point, when you first are kind of documenting Blondie, did you know at that point that photographing and documenting musicians specifically in that kind of niche was what you wanted to do and dedicate your time to?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the goal always. I started with my family. I didn't even know documentary photography was a thing, honestly. I like went from Hanson to, okay, let me just photograph my family because they're around. And then I went to school and they're like, oh, yeah, you're doing documentary photography. And I was like, oh, okay, so it is a thing. And then I started doing that just with my family. And then I got on tour. And the reason I got on tour is because they wanted me to take pictures of the meet and greets. I wasn't even hired to take photos of the band. I was just meet and greet person only. Yeah.
All right, take a smile, get out. Smile,
Yeah,
get out. Smile,
exactly.
get out.
And I
did
I was taking photos anyway. I was like, this is what I do. So
Were you nervous? Did you go like, holy shit? Like all of a sudden, well, I guess because you weren't shooting the band, but did you sneak in there and like get some band shots? And
no,
nobody
I
knew?
did. I shot everything. I was
Oh,
just like, hey,
awesome.
like Chris Stein, their guitar player, is an amazing photographer, and he was taking pictures, and I was like, oh, can I take pictures? He's like, yeah, totally. And then I gave them like a whole disc of a disc back in 2010 of of photos, and Debbie was like, oh, I didn't even know you were taking pictures. But I had like a bunch of shit of like backstage stuff, and I don't know how
Was
she
she
didn't know.
mad or was she cool?
No, she loved it. She loved
that's
it.
cool. 'Cause
Yeah.
you never know, man. You never know these days or any day.
That's always a fine line. I'm very cautious of that
Yeah.
whole being people wanting to be photographed and not wanting to. And I have a pretty good like idea of when to back off. I think that's a
Yeah.
very important thing as a photographer to know.
So shooting
Yeah,
bands, I mean,
absolutely.
is there ever a time where you shoot this amazing, beautiful photograph of whoever? Just say it's a band you're working with, and then the person sees it and they're like, "Fucking, you cannot publish this
Oh yeah.
photo." Like, I do not like this photo, and you're just like, "Dude,
Yeah.
like I captured you in." It's like the lifestyle photography. It's like this is what it is. I'm capturing the moment, and you're like, it's kind of like a girl that has to like look at their photo, but like they're posing on Instagram and they're putting their knee one way because they want to look skinnier or whatever. It's like
Right.
they're super picky. I mean, my wife is like that. It's like, let me see that picture. Oh no, you can't post that on Instagram, Matt. That's a shitty picture. That's a shitty picture. So you have bands that obviously they know millions of people are going to see this. Sometimes are prima donnas on it.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of once you get to work with someone. I mean, I work with people for full tours, so I kind of understand just in like a week of what they like and what they don't like and their angles and all that kind of stuff. So I know what they're some people have double chins. Some people,
Yeah, no upshots, please.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why you have beard, right? You have double chin down
No,
there.
I don't have it.
Okay,
I don't have a double chin.
I know. I've never
Matt,
actually
I don't
seen your
know.
chin,
I'm
so
good.
I don't know.
I'm
But I can tell
skin's
by your
pretty
body
toned.
that you don't have a double chin. But whatever.
Well, I've seen
Think
Arthur
about it.
before the big beard. Arthur, you had like a mustache and the long braids and a little soul patch type thing.
Yeah.
So I don't recall seeing a double chin. You
No,
might have
no,
had
no,
one of
no.
those. You might have had one of those little chin dimples.
I try to be
that you're
healthy.
covering
Try
up.
to be
Yeah.
fit. No, I don't have any chin dimples.
So
A
when
mole
you-
right here.
When you're photographing these bands, Paris, so you're on a tour and you're hired for the tour. So are you like, what is the goal of what you're hired for? Is it social media? Is it for the record label? Is it for, other purposes? Kind of break down when you get hired by Godsmack. Let's use that as an example. What are you there to do?
Well, we have this discussion like before the tour starts. Like, what's the plan for this tour? I take photos every night, live and backstage. I take video every night, live and backstage. So it depends. Some tours, like for Godsmack, we make a backstage video every night. So it's just like funny stuff that's happening like in the dressing room, and we record that. I edit it the next day, and then we post it the next day as if it were that day. But I'm not a genius, so I can't edit that quickly. So it's a little camera trickery. But yeah, photos I edit that night, and it's like photos are up that night at 12 o'clock at night. Sully's like really into putting them up that night. So
and where are they going? Are they going on like Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that?
Instagram, Facebook, yeah.
That's
the
cool.
usual social media outlet.
And then there's other stuff like, say they have a single coming out and they want to do a live music video. So I'll film that one song for the whole tour and edit throughout the tour and make a live music video for it. Or say we need promos for the next album. Let's find a cool spot here and do that. And we need press photos for this, or we need liners for this festival that we're doing. So basically I'm your one-stop shop for whatever you need visual
for the tours. Now, obviously, we are in a state of chaos like we've never seen before. COVID-19, we have a global pandemic, which kind of stopped all tours. How has that affected your relationship with like Godsmack, for example? What are you doing now with your time when the tours aren't happening? Are you going back through the archives, still putting content together? Or are you just shit out of luck?
I did a few things for Newfound Glory. Like they put out a video where they wanted crowd shots, so I did that, and then we did something else. But there are things like that. There will be like, oh, do you have this specific shot? And I'll have to go through thousands and thousands of photos to find it. Well, we did a calendar, which is right there, like stuff like that. So I've been keeping busy with that. But then I also started my new baby called Hello TV. And
that's you. That's your incarnation creation.
It is. Me and Eric Rogers, my partner, we are filming live concerts. So there's no audience. We have a sound stage and we're filming with 6 cameras, full audio, whole thing. And it's basically like a hour-long live music video.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's cool. It seems like everybody, I mean, we've had to turn to, I guess, live streaming. A lot of other friends of mine in the production business, same thing. They've turned their companies into doing exactly that. You know, they have the multi-million dollars with equipment.
Exactly.
And do a full production, video, lights, full audio, mix it right so you can send it to the cameras right, do multiple angles. You got the guy switching. So then it is something more interesting than one camera right here, I'm doing my thing.
Exactly. That was the thing. We saw what was going up and we were like, dude,
crap.
Are incredible and you're playing a guitar in your living room and it sounds like shit.
Yeah.
So let's do this right. So that's what.
So where do people go? Do you have a place in Boston where bands will come?
We are in Nashville. We have all of our gear is donated. So we went to Nashville because we figured all the gear's there, a lot of artists are there. Like we started, I've never dealt with country artists before, but we're doing a lot of country stuff because we're in Nashville, and we're basically just doing the local scene over there. Anyone?
So, question: how are you monetizing it? Are you getting sponsors to pay for it, or are the bands paying to do the live stream with the
Nope.
rad production?
It is free to the artists and free to the fans. So we're not charging any ticket prices or anything. We just thought that in this time, no one has money. So we don't want to charge the fans. The bands don't have money because they're not playing shows. So we are getting outside sponsorship to fund the shows and then
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
give it to everyone for free.
So you essentially are doing the work. The bands are getting their music out there to their fans just to get them through this crazy time, and knowing that there's probably a lot of their fans that are furloughed, don't have a job, etc. Is there a way for these bands, when you're doing the Hello TV deal, to sell merch or kind of use that as an avenue, kind of like a live show, but not really?
Yeah, I mean, they can say and do whatever they want during the show, honestly. Like, if they want to bring up a T-shirt and say, here it is, go to my website, like, they can 100% do that.
Do you guys have the ticker tape of the links and all that stuff?
We don't.
Do
But
that.
just because no one asked for it yet.
Yeah.
But
should do that.
it's in the
Be ahead of the curve. Do that. Have it. That's what my buddy's doing in Vegas. They did that, and they have it really set up. They have the comment streaming, like what right here, and they have the
Yeah.
ticker tape on the bottom, like with all their social media, their merch, where you
Well,
can
we
tip
have,
them, their PayPal, all that BS.
we're streaming to like everywhere that we can go because our whole thing is outreach. So we want everyone to see this thing. So we're streaming to all of our sponsors, like socials. We're streaming to the band socials. We're streaming to our socials. We're streaming to our photographer socials. We're streaming. Basically, we have media partners, so those are going out there. So we're just trying to bring awareness to the bands, to the whole production, and just as many things as we can go. And what we do is it is pre-recorded, so we're also commenting and on all of the different feeds and all that kind of stuff.
So do you think this is something, Paris, that, I mean, no one knows how long it's going to be till live concerts come back, right? It's like, who knows? So is this something that you are expecting to grow over time, even if live shows come back? Do you think Hello TV is going to be something that's going to coincide with other things that could possibly going on in a live music situation?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be just an evolving sort of thing because, I mean, there is always going to be a market for concerts and people watching concerts on the internet. Just because, say, you live in a small town, you're not going to be able to make it. The band doesn't come to you. You live in South America, which South America has the best social presence on the internet. Come to Brazil, come to South America. They're so good at promoting themselves, but no one really does. So it's sort of a worldwide thing. I don't think it'll go away after the pandemic at all. I think we can also travel, us as a group, as Hello TV, and go out to different tours, or when tours come through, you know what I mean? So there's a bunch of different ways that we could stay alive for sure.
It seemed like it was already turning that anyway, and there's like the pandemic kind of kicked it in
Right.
high gear because everybody was going live, or like even we'd play, like, "Oh, are you gonna go live?" Because I would just be silly, put my phone on my amp with my fisheye lens.
Oh
when we
yeah,
were
I
in
watch
Europe or
it all the
something.
time.
And they're like, "Oh, I go live," but then I was like, "Get off your ass."
You don't
Go
get
to
the
the show.
experience, but
No.
you do. It's like it's
You
just
kinda,
like
you do.
it's better
but you
than
don't.
nothing.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, when you do it right, like you're doing with, you have 6 cameras, it's mixed right, it's sent to everything right, then I can understand that. It's just this where people don't put in the effort, which
The
seems
static
like a lot of people.
camera,
Static
just-
camera
it's-
stuff, no, you got to do it right.
It's weird.
I
There's
always
no
preach doing
energy
it right.
to it. Exactly.
Yeah, people get bored. It's like, oh, it's one angle. Nah, you got to fucking
Well, it's
switch the
funny 'cause
drummer.
right when the-
Switch to
right
this
when
guy.
right when the pandemic happened, I remember my wife telling me, she's like, "Hey, I don't listen to Post Malone, but Post Malone did a Nirvana tribute thing. And I watched it though on my TV, and I was like, wow, I was like, honestly, if more people do things like this, like Clutch was doing it, and Clutch, like, we're like, hey, we're testing this live thing out. And they had 8 to 10,000 people watching them live.
What's that band, Paris? We played, Godsmack played with them a bunch. They're from Boston. I always get the two mixed up. Not Flogging Molly, the other one.
Oh. Well, you're making me forget now.
Come on!
Murphys.
Dropkick Murphys. So they did one like right away, but they did it right. Yeah. Same thing. They had multiple cameras. They had a soundstage, whatever they were, and they. I remember watching. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, do it right, people. Come on now. Yeah, that was cool. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm old school, where it's just like, is it gonna help destroy live music more? Because people want to go to shows, absolutely. But then there's those people, man. They're like, I'm used to sitting at home. I'm lazy. I'm going to drink my 42 ounce of fucking
I think
Coke
people that are into the music, you guys, that truly passionate about fucking bands that are badass, want to go to the shows. But
they always go anyway. I'm talking about the people that are always on the edge, like, oh, okay, I'll go. Or like, you know what? They're live streaming it. I'll just watch that.
You know what?
Free.
Well, let them. Because at that point, when pandemic's over, you're charging them, and that's fine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now. Oh yeah, no, I think it's a great thing what you're doing. Since we're on the topic of Hello TV, for people that are hearing this, where can they find Hello TV? I know there's an Instagram page, but how do people go to find out who's playing live and where to go watch it?
You just go to hellotv.com, and that has all of our upcoming shows and has all of our past shows and has everything. Just our website.
And it's HELL
3 O's.
3 O's and then TV. So the word hell TV.com.
So you're flying what do you guys shoot a bunch at a time and you fly out there and do it?
Yeah. We were there for like 2 months, and then I had to come home because my sister had a baby, and then I'm going back on Friday.
Nice.
And then how long will you be in? How long you'll be there for another couple months?
Yeah, we have a bunch booked now. It was weird. Like before we went, we did like all this like preparation. We booked some people. We got it all together. We got there, we shot them, and then we were like, okay, we need to get more bands. And then we just didn't for like 2 weeks. And like, it was like, okay, no one wants to do this. This is weird. But it wasn't even that. It was just getting the word out. It's so weird how it happens, especially in Nashville. It's like, it's a very small community, but it's also huge. And it's bizarre to me. But yeah, we started grinding, just trying to get people on. And now we have,
I know some really good bands out there I can send you.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, if anyone is in Nashville and you want to play.
Really good.
Yeah, well, I sing in this band called Moonbow, and our guitar player plays with Hank 3. Hank 3 lives in Nashville, and he's been on total hiatus, but I'm sure Hank 3 would probably want to do something. And then, have you ever heard of Lily Mae? She used to play fiddle with Jack White. She's in Nashville. She always plays at Layla's. Super awesome. I'll actually talk to her about hitting you guys up. I think it's super cool what you're doing, because I definitely think that the live streaming, I mean, so many people have bought webcams and started podcasting, started streaming more than ever before. Yeah, OnlyFans, exactly. Arthur, are you going to start OnlyFans?
Fuck yeah, I started one. Shit, Rod Hammer, look it up. I'm going to grab your book, Paris. Stand by.
Yeah.
I forgot to grab it.
So Paris, you did a book called For Real. Is that correct?
It is.
And so what inspired you to do the book, and is the book still available? I know it was like years back that you did it, right?
Yeah, it was a couple of years, but it's still there. It is what inspired me. Years and years and years of taking photos, just taking thousands of photos of my family. My friend David Carroll, who's an awesome photographer, he started a book company with Ashley Stoll. They're both photographers, really awesome photographers if you want to go check them out. And they were just like, we have to do your book. And I was like, okay. And I've always wanted to do the book, but it was just so daunting to me because there was so many photographs that I would need to go through. And I was like, all right, what are you thinking? There it is. And they're like, yeah, we want like 70 photos. And I like almost died because I had tens of thousands. You know what I mean?
And
So-
to pick the best 70 for your first book was
mind blowing. Yeah, I was like,
I can't
I was
imagine.
so bummed, but I really like how it turned out. It's
It's a mix of personal and your life of shooting bands. Kind of explain to me what For Real is about.
Should I even show it, or should we make people order it and buy it?
no
What?
show it.
So
Maybe then they'll
here,
buy it.
What do we do? How do
Yeah,
we do
so
this?
it is a mixture. It's all it's
Sorry about
basically
the flare.
all of my friends and family, honestly. Like there are some band photos in there, but whether I worked for them or not, there's still a connection of, a personal connection with these people.
Is that
So
Wes? He looks very Russian right here.
yeah, that was in Russia.
Why
How'd
did
you
he
know?
move back? What did he move to Detroit for? And then now he moved back to LA.
Yeah. Well, he had a divorce. Leave him alone.
How many is that now?
I don't know.
3, 4, 3.
He's just figuring it out, man. Just leave him alone.
I just saw him actually. He was in Palm Springs. There's this little, off topic, this little like my secret little tiki bar, boutique hotel that nobody goes to. That's now getting popular. But he was in there with. What's funny is I introduced him to his soon-to-be new wife
No.
on tour when I worked for them,
Wow.
and I'm like,
Matchmaker.
Wes? He's like, Artie. I'm like, oh shit, we hung out, and Allie and shit. I'm like, wow, shit. Oh, we're just talking about you. How you introduced us. We're engaged. All this shit. I'm like, oh wow, that's awesome. We hung out.
Oh my
Like, yeah,
God.
man. Yeah, Wes is awesome. I love Wes.
Yeah, well, when now the touring's stopped, you are a matchmaker. Let's just move forward with that.
I guess I was, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. I'll make you
Yeah.
a website.
Hey, man.
Let's get it going.
He's a good dude, man. I wish him all the luck.
Wes is great. I love him.
Yeah, he's.
So it looked like in those pictures, Arthur, that it's restaurants. It's just normal lifestyle.
Dogs.
Capturing the moment. And how long did it take you to sift through 10,000 plus photos on hard drives or God knows what to find the 70? How long? I mean, I know people put together books and records and this and that. To put together a book of 70 photos, how long of a process was that to narrow it down?
It took me a couple months to like get it down. He originally told me, he goes, I want you to narrow it down to 300. And I gave him 700. And it took me a couple months to get to 700. And I know that sounds like a lot.
This is good.
Not
This is
really a lot.
pre-pandemic, but they're wearing masks. That's pretty good.
Yeah, someone was sick on the bus. I forget who was sick.
Foreshadowing. Shit.
Yeah.
You're a prophet.
Well,
That's
it's
fucking
like Japan,
crazy.
man. That's different culture. Like Japan's always worn masks.
yeah,
And
because
we're over
they're the
here
best.
crying and moaning and
Dude,
I went
Japan is
from-
the best.
It went from 700 to 300, kept narrowing it down to the final book that you then get a proof of, I'm assuming, to where you can say yay or nay. I really don't like this one.
No, I didn't even get to do that. So David Carroll is my editor, and he picked the photos and then put them in order, which is a very important thing. And then some just didn't make it because of the order. You know what I mean? Like some didn't go next to each other, or it could be like my favorite photo, but there was nothing for it to go next to, or it didn't fit in the order of it, so it got cut. So there were some times where I was like crying, but
Wow.
yeah.
you
So you
didn't you didn't put in your deal that you have final artistic say.
I mean, it was, yes, I did have final say, but I also trusted him. And that was sort of the one thing where I was like, I need to let go. Because I'm a very controlling person. I don't know if you know
yeah,
that.
I understand that.
I just,
No, I'm the
made
same way. We're like,
myself-
you got to
Yeah.
know when they're like, all right, somebody
it's
else.
like when you hire a producer to produce your album and they're doing some stuff and you're like, I don't know if I like that. But then everyone's
Yeah.
going, yeah, that's it. And you're like, all right,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And then later you hate it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you're like, this
I've
sucks.
had-
I shouldn't listen to
I've
that
had
guy.
plenty of experiences where it's like, oh my god, I'm glad I listened, and then some things, well, but whatever.
So
But it's done. It's done.
Yes.
It's done, it's
Where can-
better, and that's the.
where can people get this book? Amazon or your website? Tell us where they can get this.
It's on peanutpressbooks.com. You can also, there's also a link in my website, parisvisone.com, that goes to Peanut Press Books. So
Right
it's
on.
not on Amazon because they take a huge cut. Don't even do it.
So, a question I have: when I was looking kind of pre-podcast here, I saw something of this thing called gender roles and appearance that got I don't know if it got an award or a grant. I guess this is something that you did when you were in school.
Mhm.
Can you tell us a little bit about that and what that was? I'm curious.
Yeah, it was basically me being in school saying I just want to take photos of my family and not having an artist statement and them forcing an artist statement down my throat, which was fine because it made me think about my photos in a different way, which is cool. So basically other people told me what they saw in my photography, which is great, which is the goal. You know what I mean? You want people to resonate with your stuff in their own way. So this was sort of just like a side project that focused on, gender roles and basically my family and how women perceive themselves and the kids perceive themselves and the guys. And it was a very sort of gender role study, basically.
Wow. And then what came out of that? I mean, did it gain some notoriety within your little school, etc.?
Yeah, I got the Getty Images grant one year for it, and I had a couple shows just in Boston,
Right
just
on.
gallery shows of it. Yeah.
And speaking of galleries, I know you shot tons and tons of band photos of all different people from Marilyn Manson, Newfound Glory, Limp Bizkit, Godsmack. I'm sure the list goes on and on. Can people buy prints of photos that you have taken?
Yeah. I don't have a store set up just because I am very particular on how my stuff is printed. So I can't just be like, here, buy it through this website and they'll ship it to you. I print it myself. I sign it. I number it. They're fine art prints. It's not like here's $10. Here's an 8x10. They're fine art prints. It's art. So
yeah, you're paying for what you get. It's a quality print that you put the time and effort into printing, signing,
right,
and it's a limited kind of thing. So
that's the way to do it, man. Because there's so
Yeah.
much crap that's out there that here's the link to the cafe press or whatever. I don't know. Whatever
exactly. Yeah, and then your
thing,
your
and you
images
don't
are
know
out there
what
and
it
they look
is.
like shit on someone's wall, and it's just like that's not what I got into it for.
now,
Absolutely.
have you had issues where people steal and pirate your images and then post onto their Instagram page and don't give you credit, etc.? How do you deal with
Then you
situations
barrage
like
them
that?
on Instagram. Where's the tag? Where's that?
Where's the tag? Tag me. It's the only thing I
You
got.
didn't what? You cropped out my watermark, you son of a bitch. Dude, I've had people do that to me where I just, I'll repost it and like the watermark happened to be chopped out a little bit. 'cause
Cropped
it's
out,
Instagram, and I'm like, sorry, fucking shit, man. I'll
I
fix it.
mean, honestly, like when it happens, if someone's trying to sell it, it's one thing. When fans are just reposting because they like who the picture is of, you know what I mean? The most I'll do is just tag my name in the comments. Like I'm not gonna
It's
make
like, what
a
can you
stink.
do these days?
it's the internet, man.
You
You
can't
can't-
do anything.
You can't.
It's
What do you
insane.
Sue them or bitch them out or send them a private message. Hey,
Now,
man,
if it's a
you
company
know.
that's using it for advertising and they know better,
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%, I'll be like, listen, money now.
But if
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
shot a photo of Arthur and I was like, oh, that's a fucking badass picture, and I said, check out my friend Arthur, and I didn't tag you by,
Oh,
you're just gonna find it and tag it.
yeah,
That's-
I'll just tag
happens
myself, and
all
I
day
don't
long.
even. Yeah, I don't even say, "Hey, can you tag me?" Forget it, dude.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah. I've gotten a couple things like that where I'm like, hey, man, sorry, your watermark got I'll fix it, sure.
If it's good enough, someone's gonna go, "Oh man, who took that photo?" And then
Absolutely.
you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I always put it in there, like, shot by whoever, and
Yeah.
tag them, but then
Sometimes I
know,
forget to tag people. I mean, it is what it is. It's
Yeah,
the
it's
internet.
so
and
much.
it's gone like this anyway. Who cares?
It's dude, yeah, there's so much out there, and people shit out so much garbage, and
So, Paris, what is the craziest tour you've ever been on? Like, what is the most crazy experience of shooting a live band?
What tour story can you tell? I got a lot of stories I can't tell.
Oh yeah, all the Manson ones I can't tell.
Then
so I'll say something else.
Well, you gotta wait till the book and retire. We all retire and shit roll and don't give a fuck by then, and then write our books because there's plenty that What's a good story you can tell about whoever it may be?
Can tell.
It's a good funny one.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? It's hard.
I don't know because you know what? It's crazy. I recently gave Sully from Godsmack all of our footage from since I started with them. And it was insane, the amount of footage. And I was watching some of it and I go, dude, I don't remember this at all. 100% do not. I know. So I know one of the hardest times I've ever laughed was Artie. we had this light up sign. This has nothing to do with bands or famous people.
That's what I was going to say. It doesn't have to be anything about the band.
No, we're the coolest ones, and so it doesn't even matter. I'll tell the story about it.
Yeah.
So we had this sign that said open, or I don't even know. The girls in the production office bought a sign, and for some reason it stopped working. So Artie's Ty Zamora, I don't know if you know him, but
yeah, I know him.
Yeah, you know.
I know him pretty good.
He goes, oh man, I can fix that. They think they're so cool. They're like soldering shit. So he opens it up and he's soldering stuff. And Artie goes, give it to me. I can do it. And he takes the soldering iron.
I'll chime in. Parrish and Ty are over there. They got the back off. It's all the electronics. You know, it's like a blinking open sign. Yeah. And Ty's looking at it and Parrish is looking at it and shit. And I roll up, because we would get our stuff done. We have time to the three of us would have lots of fun. Anyway, I roll up and then, I'm all like, oh, what? Oh, yeah, it's this right here. See, because they didn't see it. There was like a loose wire. I'm like, oh, dude, give me that. Come here. And I just did it. The fucking thing was plugged in. I just roll up like, oh, hey, man, I want to help. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Look. Fucking electrocute myself. And then I'm like, because it was like early in the morning, too. We were just loaded in at 10 a.m. or something, 9 a.m. I don't know. And I remember saying, like, oh, man. You gotta send that to me. I go, man, that's better than coffee because it like.
No, you're like, I don't need coffee. And you're like, my beard went like this.
I was wide awake. It was better than coffee. It was good.
Oh my god, dude!
That's
it was funny, and I don't know why you getting hurt was so funny. Yeah. Like one of the funniest moments of my life. I'm sorry, but it was worth it.
I liked it. It was good too. Luckily, it wasn't too much. So you have that on film too?
I don't. I have something.
We're talking about it.
Yeah, I have, but not even that. That's not even the funny. That's not even the hardest. I laughed. I was just with Ty the next day, and we look at each other and just start laughing because we both were thinking about it, and we laughed for like another 30 minutes without saying a word. And it was, dude, there is nothing. I love laughing so much, and we laughed so much.
I missed that.
Those are the best.
That was the best stuff. I missed that. I miss laughing that hard. I haven't like right now I'm laughing pretty good. Like we would laugh hard. We laughed and had so much fun that everybody started hating us because we were having so much fun. Yeah. And like enjoying each other's company and laugh. And
but that's tour for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grumpies.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Everybody's grumpy. We're just laughing. Like all day long, we're happy. Like,
and everybody's like, oh, what the fuck are these assholes having fun, enjoying themselves. Touring sucks.
We're like, what the fuck, whatever.
Dan.
So you have a bunch of crazy Marilyn Manson stories that got pretty. There was probably some pretty. I'm not asking you to talk about it, but there's a pretty gnarly scene at some of those tours, probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I got some good Manson stories.
Yeah, you got Manson stories too.
I did when it was Ozfest, when it was Slipknot and Manson, Papa Roach. What year is that? I don't remember, but I could probably tell those. I mean, they're crazy, but I don't work for Manson. I've never worked for Manson. I wouldn't either. I know everybody that has. They're like, they don't work for Manson.
Yeah.
So why is that, Artie? Like,
why is what?
Just why is it like where you wouldn't want to work for Manson?
Well, it's like any other job at the end of the day that some jobs are cool to have and it's a good positive working environment, and some jobs are not a positive working environment. You know what I mean? Your boss is an asshole or whatever, or, you know, it's the same thing. Touring's crazy, man. Like, because all of a sudden you're on a bus with 10 other people that you don't know. Or if you've been on that crew or whatever, then you know some and you're friends, or you can't stand them. So it's one of those, like, you're instantly on a bus with 10 or more or less or whatever the fuck of people you do not know, and you have to live in a confined space, you know, and there's all those things, you know, where the dude's picking at his toes in the back lounge or some shit, or this guy's a slob and never puts anything away, or like Festa puts his food in the microwave like it's some
he keeps it there.
like it's some device that keeps it fresh in the microwave. I'm like, Festa, what are you doing? You go in there and try to, like, I mean, Festa's awesome. Nobody knows. Anyway, where it's like, what are you doing? Oh,
Festa's the inspiration for Hello. Hello.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, hello. Oh,
Hello. We got tattoos. Hello tattoos.
Oh, nice.
This was before Hello TV.
Nice.
But it's just like Festa is Godsmack's band assistant, and he is an angel. But he is out.
He's
there.
great. He's hilarious. He's hilarious. For many reasons.
So some people probably think that, oh, you're going on tour with all these famous rock stars, but at the end of the day, it becomes a job.
It is a job.
It's not all fun and games. And I'm sure with you, Paris, when you were saying when you were on Godsmack tour, you're like, I had to edit stuff, I had to film. So
it's a job.
You probably are working around
I'm 24.
the clock.
Yeah, I'm always available. I have to be, because if something funny's happening, I'm working, which kind of sucks. And that's why I liked hanging out with Artie, because if I wasn't with the band, I was with Artie laughing. But then I could get a call saying, Paris, come here. And it's not like their stuff wasn't funny. They're great too. You know what I mean? They have they have some good stuff. Like there's some times where I'm definitely like laughing hard with Sully. Sully's awesome. But
what was the most stressful situation with Godsmack that you were ever in? Camera problems, your shit's not working, your hard drive crashes, and you're like, fuck, I just lost all my photos. What's the gnarliest, like, oh shit moment you had?
You know, it's knock on wood, it's never happened. I back up my shit immediately and
Absolutely.
3 times.
Yeah. And then if you did, like, the way your gig, like, nobody would know because you're just running around doing your thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I could totally suck. But if I get like 10 all right photos, I could pass. Yeah. And, you know, and sometimes the photos that I love, they don't even like. You know what I mean? So it's all sort of whatever. There hasn't been anything where like, okay, you fucked that up. Yeah. No, because none of it's
pretty
like
phenomenal. Because there's always like people that are like, have an oh shit moment where they're like on the verge of like, oh my god, if I fucking lose this or this doesn't happen, I'm fucked. So the fact that you
Artie's more in that situation, like
that's where like
teching.
When you're guitar teching, that's where things like that can happen. Like, you know, whatever it may be. You know, when I did Godsmack, I teched for Sully, so like he's got this talk box and then he's got a pedal board up front. So I've got 75 lead cables going out there. There was one show that was like that. I mean, where they had a kabuki for a while. If nobody knows what a kabuki is, it's that big screen in front of it, drops down. Oh, it's very exciting. So, you know, there's always like a bunch of stage hands out there waiting to grab it. So, and kabukis like work, I don't know, 50%,
70%,
50 to 70% of the time.
They don't work.
Didn't work. They got to tug it to pull it out of these things. And the stagehand guy unplugged his pedal board. You know what I mean? So it's like, boom, he's got no sound because it's going through this effects loop, nerd talk, blah, 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 blah. If that gets unplugged, that kills that. I got to hit button. And I'm like,
there's just like 1,000 things that could be wrong that Artie has to figure out what it is.
In like 3 seconds.
10,000 people watching him. With another guy like looking at him like, what is wrong? You messed up.
The lead singer, guitar player dude looking back going, what the fuck? You know, flipping out. And then I'm like, what?
Whenever that stuff happened, I ran. Dude, I did not want to be near. I felt so bad. I feel so bad for everyone involved. It's just like the worst.
It's what people don't get about it, like it's high intensity stress, but it's fun. But like I'm dialed. I had my shit right, so like I knew what it was. Boom, okay, boom, button. You know that bypasses that. He's good. Then I had to run out there like an idiot and like climb over this, climb over the subs, and like, oh, that cocksucker, I'm fucking plug it in and like give him the thumbs up and shit, and he's like, "Arr."
Yeah.
All right, back there, and then run back there and okay, cool, all right. Like,
you have
gotta
to work
fix shit
under
in 3
pressure.
seconds.
Yeah, you got to be.
Oh,
like,
dude, it's high. It's high fucking stress. Yeah, man. There's 20,000 people out there, or 10,000, or 100,000, or whatever it is, and like the train's rolling. It's not gonna stop. So like, oh, I gotta figure this out. It's like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Boom, done. All right, cool. Hey, what happened? Hey, the kabuki and the guy pulled it out. Oh, I don't give a fuck.
Sometimes they do care. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, it's fine, dude," and it's all just the vibe of the show too. Like they'll get more mad if the crowd sucks, and it's like it's difficult.
So Paris, you were
an
saying
interesting gig.
You were saying that you just gave Sully all the video footage from the very beginning of you documenting them. What year was that? How many year span are we talking?
2012 I started with them. So 8 years.
So you have 8 years of footage, like video stuff. Now, is there something that could be a possible Godsmack documentary done with this footage one day?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, there's tons of stuff. There's tons of stuff that, because when I started doing it, their social media wasn't as big either. So there's a bunch of stuff people haven't even seen. And even if they've seen it, it's like little clips, you know? So there definitely could be like
something really fucking cool.
I remember at tour, he said that every night. We're filming this for the Godsmack.
Yeah, he said we're filming this for the and then everyone asked me, "Where's the Godsmack DVD?" And I'm like, "Where is it? I don't know. You guess who's mine."
Well, I'm hoping that sees the light of day, because I know a lot of fans, especially now with bands not being able to tour, are craving content, and I think
everybody's really like that backstage.
It's
all the
fun.
Pantera home videos, like that's why that stuff is so popular.
Dude, I love that the vulgar videos and all that shit back in the day. Yeah,
Bobby Tongs.
Dude.
He works.
Yeah, right.
If you know who Bobby Tongs is, Matt. He's the guy that filmed all that stuff.
Okay, all that vulgar video stuff.
His name's Daryl also, but everybody called him Bobby Tongs because Pantera would be like, they started calling him Tongs because he was the guy to go get everything.
Yeah.
Hey, Tongs, go get this. Go get Tongs, get Tongs. Anyway. So Bobby Tongs, his name's Daryl too, but he's the guy that shot all that stuff for Pantera. He's the same thing. They're friends from day one, but he worked for Slipknot for a long time. When I worked for Slipknot too, so he's a good dude. There's tons of like.
He was with Manson when I was with Manson. He's been around.
Yeah, he's a famous classic. I should hit him up to do this too.
Yeah.
So Paris, what is next for you? I know we're in this COVID-19 pandemic stuff, which has caused a lot of craziness in the entertainment industry with bands, especially, and obviously it's affected your being able to go on tour. But you're doing stuff with the Hello TV. What does the future look like? What projects do you have, and where can people find what you're doing?
Well, yeah, right now it's Hello TV. It's actually funny, like 2 days before the pandemic happened, I actually got like a job at home. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to start this job. I'm going to be at home. It's going to be like a whole new thing. And it was working for Kraft Entertainment. So I was going to be working for the Patriots and Boston Uprising, which is their esports team. So I was going to be living at home and commuting, to the stadium, and also traveling with the Boston Uprising team. So it's kind of going to be not music, kind of traveling, kind of home. So I was super psyched. And then the whole thing happened, and that kind of went away. So that's how Hello TV is born. And I kind of really like being my own boss and having people, we surrounded ourselves with like an awesome crew, because we got the pick of the litter, you know what I mean? Everyone's out of work and we're in Nashville. So we have the coolest people working for us. And I have a bunch of friends running cameras and stuff like that. So it's really awesome, and I would love for Hello TV to just keep going. You know what I mean? Because we're creating cool stuff. We haven't gotten like one negative response about what we're creating, so that's
it looks
cool.
great.
And not that you need to dwell on those, but you do notice them. You know what I mean? So it's cool. The bands really like it. They're getting top-notch quality stuff, and the bands are sort of, we're not discriminating with like size of bands. Like we've had bands that have 1,000 followers, and then we've had Smith and Myers, Brent and Zach from Shinedown come in. So like we have a range of different acts, and they're all getting the same treatment, and I think that's cool because sort of, people need to sort of set a standard of how to be treated in this industry, especially, and we treat everyone like they're the Rolling Stones. They're getting,
awesome.
You know what I mean? They're getting the highest quality sort of stuff. And I just think that if everyone's seen in that light, it sort of levels the playing field. You know what I mean? It lets their talent shine through, which is really, I think, really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
good for you.
Yeah.
So on Instagram, it's at Hello, which is HELLOOO TV.
Yep.
And it's that same deal, HELLOOTV.com.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, you're going to be in Nashville for a couple months. So if a band wants to, get with you, do they just shoot you an email? I mean, how do you guys pick who you guys do streaming for?
Yeah, we just go on our website. There's an email. It's info@helloproductions.com. And you just email us your stuff. And there are some bands that were like, this might not be a good fit. And it's mainly because they're like acoustic bands. You know what I mean? We want to sort of have like a huge show to showcase, like bring all of your bells and whistles. You know what I mean? Like we have a band coming that's going to bring 2 drummers. Like that's cool. Like we want to do like cool, different stuff, not just sort of like an acoustic guy that it could translate if you were singing in your living room. You know what I mean? We want to showcase your best full live show. So,
and it's across all genres. I know you've worked with heavy rock and roll bands, but in Nashville, you're doing country acts, rock acts. It doesn't matter. It's so I think it's really cool of what you're doing. And then if people want to check out your website, what is your website where people can buy like a t-shirt that Arthur has on?
Yeah,
come on now.
Book for real that we talked about.
Do you still have these at least?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't have those anymore now.
Oh, I got
need to make
limited
a new
edition.
design. Come up with a new design for me, Artie.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, man. I'll whip something up. I've been doing that's all I've been doing. Painting, artwork, music. That's all I've been doing.
You're the best. That's why.
Cool.
Yeah, just ParisVisone.com. Just my name.
I really
can
think you should
at
make it
the
Paris
thing.
Vision, man.
Yeah, Paris Vision. People think that that's it anyway, so
Yeah,
that's
what
fine.
I thought. I'm like, Vision? It's not. I always thought, that was good marketing of her, Paris Vision. Brilliant camera, video, Paris Vision.
Yeah.
She's like, no, it's Visone. I'm like, what?
Well, I love it, and I'm stoked. I'm gonna order your book for real, and keep doing what you're doing. It's freaking totally badass. And I can't wait till you guys and everyone bands can go back on tour and shit gets back.
Shit,
to
I'm gonna
normal.
fly to Nashville.
Already
Couch?
do it, please.
You got a couch? I can.
We got
sleep on?
Airbnb. Yeah.
Dude, I can
Do it, Artie,
camera,
'cause
audio, whatever. Just hang out.
Dude.
I live like 5
Can you run our social
hours
media? Because I
past
hate it.
I'll do that. Whatever.
Oh my God,
be-
we need you. Please come.
We'll talk. Let's
Okay.
talk. We'll talk.
Right
Paris,
on.
I love you to death. Everybody, check
love
her
you.
out. She's amazing. Thank you for being here. Let's just do this, even not on this, where we can talk and laugh. I need that. I need some more electrical
know.
shocks.
I
And even we'll get on Zoom, whatever, FaceTime. Me and Ty did that not too long ago. We're like, we just hung out all night and got wasted
Really?
on FaceTime. And
Oh
talk
my
mad.
God,
Yeah.
invite me.
Oh, we'll do it next time.
Artie, that was badass. Your friend Paris, and you need to check out Hello TV. Follow it on Instagram, and she's got merch. And I know that a lot of bands are doing really cool stuff with her live streaming deal. Like you said, she's got
Absolutely.
the lights, the production, and it's in Nashville. So I'm assuming if you have a band that is interested in doing it, hit her up.
And they are doing not just big bands, they're doing local bands. They're doing local artists in Nashville. They're doing everybody. They're just, like I said, man, it's all the production side, all of us that do production as well, you know, the front of house guys, the audio, the video, the lighting, like her, photographer, videographer, where, you know, they were smart and they figured out shortly after the shutdown that they needed to do something, because we're all sitting around with our thumbs up our asses with all this gear, nothing to do with it. And they're doing it right. It's a full production. It's full production lighting. It sounds awesome. It's mixed well by a fucking, name mixing guy, touring professional. And they treat everybody like they're big stars when they go and do the show, because they're good people. There are good people in this industry, and they're some of the best. I love Paris. I can't say that much. She's awesome. Good people, man. So check out Hello TV. If you want to watch a live stream from somebody that's rad, like they're doing it the right way, or if you're about to you want to do a live stream that's rad, watch how they do it and learn.
And go back, if you haven't seen all of our previous episodes, we have a bunch of stuff on YouTube. And if you like what you see on video, but you want to just listen to it in your car, subscribe. We're on Spotify, Apple, like iPod podcast, all that stuff. And stay tuned for next time. And we will see you again on Riff Killers Podcast.
Come on now.
I'm Arthur C.
And I'm Ty Zamora.
And I'm ape shit.
Ooh! Want to explain to you guys out there the shrewdness.
You are all the shrewdness, the family.
Hashtag OOH. How you do it, what it is.
Ooh! Ooh! And when you do that, that's when you meet a fellow shrewdness. Ooh! And that shows your respect. So post your videos. Ooh! Let's hear your best. Ooh!